Whatever happened to our favorite child stars of the 50s, 60s, and 70s? Pop culture in the 50s, 60s, and 70s was heavily influenced by several TV shows and films. Do you ever wonder what happened to the kids from the Brady Bunch or the Partridge Family? Quinn Cummings. Quinn Cummings was launched into stardom at the mere age of 10 with the titular role of precocious Lucy. Bored of the fame, she quit acting in the early 90s. In 2005, she started a blog titled The QC Report and has come out with 3 memoirs since. Motherhood inspired her to create the hip-hugger baby-carrying sling. Kim Carruth. When movies are as groundbreaking as The Sound of Music, it presents many promising stars, and Kim Carruth is one of them. She played the role of Gretel Von Trapp, and even though she wouldn't have known it, things panned out well for her. Kim exited the industry in 1981, preferring education to the media. In her early 20s, she moved to Paris, where she studied art history and did modeling. She's now married and acts on the side. However, she has no film or TV credits post-1981. Johnny Crawford. Many people remember Johnny Crawford for his role as Lucas McCain's son on the Western fan favorite The Rifleman, but he's also on the original lineup of Mouseketeers in 1955. For his incredible performance in The Rifleman, he was nominated for an Emmy. After the show's end in 1963, Johnny continued starring in guest roles on television. He shifted out his acting career for a dancing one in the early 90s. As of today, he's the proud leader of a California-based vintage-themed band named Johnny Crawford Dance Orchestra. Mary Badham. There are few movie adaptations that transitioned so fluidly from the books onto the screen, and To Kill a Mockingbird was definitely one of them. The 10-year-old Mary Badham played Jean Louise Finch alongside Gregory Peck. Her impressive performance got her an Oscar nomination too. Even with the stardom running her way, she turned her back on it and chose to focus on different goals. The latest reports state that she was a college testing coordinator and an art restorer. Currently, Mary is happily married with 2 children. Jimmy Walker. For his performance as the eldest son of the Evans family, J.J. Evans in the CBS sitcom Good Times, Jimmy Walker received not 1, but 2 Golden Globes. He coined the iconic catchphrase that's still remembered, "Dynamite." He later explored the world of radio, hosting shows on WOAI, KKP, WHIO, and WLS. As an homage to his catchphrase and the show that made him a star, the Brooklyn-born actor released an autobiography in 2012 talking about his time there. To this day, he continues with his stand-up comedy regime. Mark Kopech. On the revolutionary 1968 sitcom Julia, little 5-year-old Mark Kopech played Corey, Diane Carroll's character's son. The actress spoke about her TV son fondly, stating that he was just so lovable. Mark returned to school and took up jazz improvisation in 2014. Work was scarce, so he eventually had to take up something less hectic. Currently, he's a singer and dancer based in LA, and his Facebook page states social dance instructor. Brooke Shields. At only 11 months of age, Brooke Shields modeled for Ivory Soap, her first ad. When she was 12, she acted as a protagonist in the 1978 film Pretty Baby, portraying a controversial role of child courtesan Violet. At the age of 14, she became the youngest person to appear on the cover of Vogue. Her roles helped her get more noticed until she hit the nail on the head with her sitcom Suddenly Susan. Her career afterward contained some cameos here and there. Emmanuel Lewis. If you were a fan of Webster Anytime during its run from 1983 to 1989, you'll quickly recognize Emmanuel Lewis as the main character. The star has continued to act as well, although he hasn't been seen on screen much since his 2013 appearance on Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis. A year later, he would appear on the podcast TV Guidance Counselor. In 2019, he briefly appeared in a music video done by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. The Olsen Twins. In the late 90s and early 2000s, the Olsen twins were hard to miss. Oftentimes, Mary-Kate and Ashley appeared as a dynamic duo or playing the same person. The twins continued to act for a time after they hung up their hats on roles, like Michelle Tanner in Full House. Now you're more likely to see these sisters working in fashion as designers. However, they're still active in film, now working in distribution as the owners of Dual Star Entertainment Group. Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin is one actor who seems to need no introduction. Who hasn't seen his early roles in the 90s in both Home Alone and Home Alone 2? In the 2000s, he took on a few different roles, both on the big screen and the small one. One interesting thing Culkin did was start his own band, the Pizza Underground. As the name might suggest, it was a play on the Velvet Underground, changing all their songs to be about the popular takeout dish. If you want to see him act, he was on American Horror Story's 10th season. Raven-Symoné. Raven-Symoné is often recognized for her work in the 2000s on the Disney show, That's So Raven. Yet, her career started even earlier than that. Back in the 80s, when the actress was still a small child, she was introduced on The Cosby Show as Olivia Kendall. She'd also take on a role in the Disney movie Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. More recently, Raven-Symoné has appeared on a Black Lady sketch show and Mighty Oak. Jaleel White. Jaleel White probably changed the way you think about the phrase, "Did I do that?" after his famous role as Steve Urkel in Family Matters. He didn't say goodbye to Urkel forever when Family Matters ended, though he'd take on the role again when he voiced Urkel in 2019 for an appearance in Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? Other than that, he's taken on a variety of roles, including as a game show host for Total Blackout. Dakota Fanning. At just 5 years old, Dakota Fanning began her acting career as a guest actor on several shows, including ER and CSI. She gained notice in I Am Sam in 2001 and Uptown Girls and The Cat in the Hat in 2003. Thanks to her talent and dedication, Fanning seamlessly made the transition from child star to award-winning actress. She's still extremely active, especially when she and her sister Elle started their production company, Llewellyn Pictures, in 2021. Daniel Radcliffe. We'd be remiss to mention Harry Potter earlier and not mention Daniel Radcliffe's work. He was 10 years old when the first film came out. His career has grown a lot since things wrapped up on the 8th Harry Potter movie. He's appeared both in movies and in Broadway productions. Most recently, you can catch him in productions like the show Miracle Workers and the film Weird. The Al Yankovic story as none other than comedic musician Weird Al himself.